The oath of office. Have you ever taken one? Do you know what it feels like to raise your right hand and swear to your God that you will be fair, honest, impartial, and do your absolute best under one unifying authority, the United States Constitution?
Hi, and welcome to Yeti at Large. This is a channel focused on making the most out of what you have, no matter where you're at. Thanks for tuning in and helping out.
Bottom line up front, this video is about how important the oath of office is, how it should be reinforced, and the consequences of it being just a formality and not a legally binding document. I recently received a survey in the mail from a high-ranking legislative member, which, let's be honest, most of that is to get you talking and then move you on to a donation page. I'm okay with that, even though I'm not giving them any money. But they asked, what can the Senate, the legislative body, be working on? What's most important? That's when it occurred to me. A lot of us are upset about a lot of things, and we may disagree what we're upset about and how to fix them. But I think one of the unifying things that we can all agree upon is that people need to do what they say they're going to do if they're put in a position of profound privilege, opportunity, and authority, an office, if you will. And that's when it came to me that the oath of office. When I became a peace officer in the great state of Arizona, I took an oath of office. It was given to me, I signed it, I still have this copy, I'm very, very proud of it, and I took it very serious. The interesting thing about the oath of office is we were taught and instructed that our conduct and our behavior must rise above the appearance of impropriety, meaning it shouldn't even look bad what you're doing. We called it the headline test. If you could print what you're doing up on a billboard and have your mother, your brother, a lawyer, and a cop all agree that you're doing good, then you're probably on the right track. I believed that if I failed to live up to that oath, in the spirit of George Washington, it could cost me my sacred honor, my treasure, and my position. Now, the oath of office is codified under 18 USC 1918, and again in Section 5 USC, I think it's 7388. There are legal consequences for the oath of office in violation of it. But sadly, we have seen only a handful, maybe 20, in the 250 years that our republic has been a formal government. I think we've seen one in the 21st century and only a couple in the late 20th century. That doesn't seem appropriate when we see many, many people, elected officials, clearly not living up to the oath of office. Who takes an oath of office? Obviously, we know the President of the United States, and any elected official at any level takes an oath of office. Peace officers, people in public safety, soldiers, judges, attorneys. Who else should be taking that oath of office? Please leave your suggestions down below. I feel very strongly that anybody who works in a position of public trust, such as election workers and public school teachers, should be taking an oath of office. The oath of office that we see today is slightly different than one that was historically used right around the Civil War. Obviously, there were profound concerns about legislators having allegiances to the South, and in the Lincoln era, something called an ironclad oath was used. It was wordy, it was lengthy, and in the early 20th century, it was shortened to be the oath of office that we respect today. I will strongly suggest and recommend that an oath of office that is both legally binding and formally required be put into place. I would like to see pure, strict, and easy to identify and support benchmarks for when you have failed to live up to your oath of office, and conversely, when you're doing an excellent job of that. This oath can protect you, but it can also hold you accountable. It should be legally binding. It should have to be signed no different than an affidavit, and it should be revisited annually. Those two people I talked about having been removed from office in the 21st century and then in the late 20th century. Interestingly enough, one was a judge and one was in the legislative body. Adam Clayton Powell Jr. had a storied and interesting path and career as the representative, I believe, of Harlem. Ironically enough, when he was removed from office in the late 60s, he got back into office, but he was beat by Charlie Rangel, I think, in 1971. Charlie Rangel only left his seat in 2017, 56 years. Term limits. There's a video for another day if you want to see that. So, Senator, to answer your question in your survey, you need to put the teeth back in the oath of office, and you need to hold people accountable for when they violate it, when they break the law. You should not be in a position of public trust or authority. In the spirit of Red Skelton and his famous reading of the Pledge of Allegiance, let's read the U.S. Oath of Office and break it down just a hair. I promise I'll be brief, but this is important. This is the oath of office that I found to be one of the most current and comprehensive, and it's filled with utterly fascinating portions. And it starts out with I, me, an individual, endowed by my Creator with inalienable rights such as life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Also, fully responsible for my actions and choices, accountable for my behavior, with the rewards and consequences that are inherent. Do solemnly swear, meaning the most sacred promise I can offer. And if I don't live up to this promise, I not only expect, but I hope you hold me accountable to it. That I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States, the one unifying document that we all agree in its original intent is what we follow. That's what guides us. And if you don't like the laws contained within that, then you work through the legal process to have them modified. But until that time, you follow them blindly against all enemies. All enemies. People who would work to subvert that, foreign or domestic. So that includes people who are not U.S. citizens and people who are. And if somebody's actions, behavior, statements, and or intentions appear to violate the U.S. Constitution, I swear I will defend the Constitution and prevent that. That I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same. True faith, honest, transparent, fully visible, while I'm in my position of authority and privilege. I'm a private citizen and I get to have a private life, but not in the execution of my duties. I take this obligation freely. I want to be here. Nobody's forcing me to be here. I haven't been put up to this without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion. This is the biggest part of it all. Have I got something in the back of my head, in the bottom drawer, that I'm planning to do that undermines the Constitution and this oath? I have no reservations. I am swearing to you that I will do the face value job put before me. That I'm not coming in here with a subversive or counterintuitive plan to undermine the Constitution. And I'm not being dishonest. I'm not evading the truth. I'm not activating a lawyer's dodge, and that I will well and faithfully discharge the duties of the office I'm about to enter. A temporary assignment at best. Now, a peace officer, a school teacher, a judge, any of those people in those positions, that could be a career. Maybe it was meant to be a career. But an elected official, that by design is meant to be a temporary job, a season of service where you support the Constitution, i.e. your fellow citizens of the United States who put you in that position, who you are accountable to in that position. So help me God, the whole reason I exist and why I'm here. We all worship someone, something, and somewhere. Where we put our faith is a very personal decision, and it's not up for the United States government to tell you where to put your faith. but it is also not a requirement that the United States government be agnostic or atheistic. I can serve my fellow citizens and follow my Creator boldly, without apology, but I cannot mandate that you do the same. That's the oath of office. If you haven't taken one, I recommend you stand in the mirror and you try it yourself. Have your better half, your spouse, your children, your brothers or sisters, your parents, your co-workers. Have someone administer the oath of office. Raise your right hand and see what it feels like. It should be humbling and powerful. That's what I want to see fixed in the legislative body. I want to see it across the board. You cannot violate our immigration laws. You cannot enrich yourself unethically or unfairly. And you cannot cause harm to people for your own benefit. Many of you right now might be making a list of people you think have violated that oath of office. Might be on both sides of the aisle. That's up for the debate. The very open, honest, fair, and non-violent debate that we're supposed to have. But this oath of office needs teeth, and it needs to mean something. So yeah, Senator, Congressman, please bring back an ironclad oath of office. Make it enforceable. Make it real. Make it annual. Thank you so much for joining us today. Just a little rant from Yeti at Large.